everyday EDC-ers. No, that's not gonna work. What's up, guys? My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. Today is Tough Tuesday. So we're doing our Tough Tuesday pocket dump. Before that, let me apologize. The video sequencing that came out as of recent is all goofy. I don't know what I did. I mean, I kind of know what I did, but it just shotgunned out and oh shit. So yeah. But today is Tough Tuesday, and first I have two honorable mentions. One that is with me just for the car ride, and another one that stayed home mainly because I didn't want to get it out of its box. I took it out. I actually took it out of the box, and I was like, maybe, but I'm planning on selling it anyways. So the honorable mention is, first and foremost, this is the Bestech Bison, guys. The scales, you guys will see, I ended up dyeing the scales black just to kind of get this all black look. So this was obtained in a trade with Corey. I got a Bestech Swordfish in an S35. Awesome deal. 89 bucks. Bestech Swordfish S35. Are you kidding? What? You can almost reverse flick this. Yeah, it was a really good deal, but I accidentally bought two of them. So I asked Corey if he'd be interested in one over there at the Practical Blade, and he said, yeah. You know, what are you interested in? I'm like, that bison that I reviewed way back when, I want it. And he's like, ah, shit. All right. So I ended up getting the Bestech Bison. This knife is super cool. It's not very robust. That's why it didn't really make the cut to justify carrying on Tough Tuesday. But it's a really cool knife. You got a titanium frame lock. And the titanium, I just noticed, is milled out pretty well on the inside, and that's the frame lock side, so that's cool. And then you got a G10 with a very light inlay that goes down through the G10. It's real narrow. It's about half the size of the G10. This is on bearings, and then the kicker of this is D2. So you have a titanium frame lock with G10 on one side, and then D2 blade on bearings, and part of you's like, there's a lot of differences here that usually don't come together. Titanium and G10, and then D2 and titanium, you know, and then bearings for the time when this came out, that was more like what, but now it's like, yeah, whatever. So I think this came out 2-3 years ago. The kicker and the controversy over this knife in particular is that this is like a $110 knife. Now, immediately you guys are going and I don't mean to mock you guys, but I'm the same way. $110, D2, I don't care if there's titanium on it. No D2's worth $110. Then don't buy it, you know. But I can tell you, I think this is that good that I would say, yeah. I mean, the ergonomics are phenomenal. You got this really huge finger choil right there. A really nice, just drop point style blade with the flat grind coming down. It's just a really good knife. And then you watch this. This is me docked. I did take it apart and I cleaned it up a little bit when I was doing the scales, but that's incredible. That's really good. It was dropping shut at one point in time, but then I got overzealous and tightened up the pivot just slightly more because if I held it in the weirdest of ways, I could feel a slight click in the pivot, it wasn't as tight as it could be, and that always irritates me. But I did have it drop shut at one point, and then I'm like, all right. So I could probably get it drop shut again, actually, just adding a little bit more oil to the D10 ball and track. So there's that. This is an honorable mention. Second honorable mention, and I don't normally do this in my videos, I'm going to sell this knife because it didn't sell on Reddit, and I have no freaking clue as to why, because this thing is awesome. I should have brought it because I'm selling it. It's the Off-Grid Knives Rhino. It is it's almost like a clip point style blade. It's very ergonomic and just this fat G10 and robust on bearings. The action absolutely is drop shut. If you guys don't know the Off-Grid Rhino, go look at it. It's just really good. So I'm gonna sell it here. So the first person to message me on Instagram, which I have timestamps there, and I want to go through that. Or actually, just message in the comments. Just leave a comment if you want it. Say, I'll take the Rhino, and the first person to leave it will get it. I will sell it to you guys for 40 bucks. So I think the knife brand new was 60 or 75 or something like that. Never really used it other than doing videos, so I'll give the Rhino away for $40. Leave a comment below if you want it, and then we'll figure out a way to get in touch. But that is a robust knife. But the blade stock's actually pretty thin for being such a beefy tank. It's got thin blade stock, so it's like a really good slicer too. I took it out when I was comparing it against the Kepler, the Sheepdog XL, and there was like one more knife, the Bison, the QSP Bison, not the Bestech Bison, and it sliced better than any of them. It was pretty cool. But let's get to the actual pocket dump itself. So today's fifth pocket carry is, I couldn't really figure out what a tough fifth pocket knife is that I had. And I didn't want to carry something that I always carry. That's the point of these, right? You switch it up. But today's fifth pocket carry is the Crkt Razzlecliff. The reason this is on Tough Tuesday is this is a stainless steel frame lock. Just a tiny little, just like chunker of a knife, even though it's thin. The profile's thin, but it just reminds me of like a knife that holds a heavier presence because it is all steel, right? Super, super cool. I haven't actually found a use for that tip. It's just because I don't do work like that with the tip, but I could totally see how that translates into some really, really cool stuff. And I'm sure that if I had it on me, I would figure out like, oh, this makes things really nice. So that sharpened like backwards reverse Tonto thing is really, really cool. It's just a really nice little knife. You can actually even choke up here a little bit. You're kind of rested against the blade, but I mean, it's just a tiny knife, so don't like let it slip or nothing. But very, very cool fifth pocket knife. This thing's like $26, guys. If you like the design and it speaks to you, I mean, you really can't beat the price for a fifth pocket knife, to be perfectly honest. Last and certainly most, I guess is where I could leave it. And I was going to say certainly not least, and then most came out, but it makes sense. For my tough knife of the day, this was kind of hard because I didn't have too much to choose from, so I was kind of translating what tough meant to me in the moment. So blade steel takes a part in the toughness. Like, what kind of blade steel? How tough is the blade steel? But ergonomics take a part in the toughness too, just because like if you're going to be tough on your knife, you need really good ergonomics. And then a blade stock that's going to be pretty hardy. So this isn't like your best slicing machine, although it is wicked freaking sharp right now. That is my Spyderco Shaman. I haven't given this thing enough love, guys, so I decided to carry the Shaman. These are the silver twill Aramis scales that are on here. And I think that's an MXG deep carry pocket clip. The action's pretty stupid. I mean, it's just a really, really good knife, guys. The ergonomics in that choke up position. And I'm talking to you guys like you guys never felt a freaking Shaman before. I would be willing to bet you 80% of you have felt the Shaman. But this is the Shaman in XHP. So it's going to be a little bit more tough, I think, than like the CPM S30s or S35s. Maybe not the S35. The S35 is kind of tough, but yeah, XHP is going to be a little bit more tough. It's basically like more tough than M390, less edge retentive, and maybe the same corrosion resistance, maybe not. I mean, M390, from my knowledge, has like 20% chromium, but only a little bit of it's used, blah, 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 blah. I'm just regurgitating stuff that you kind of learn throughout the community, but it has to do with how much carbon content is actually in the steel itself, how the carbides form, blah, 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 blah. But this is my tough knife of the day. It is super ergonomic. The blade stock is pretty damn thick. The tip is pretty damn strong. The behind the edge thickness is not the thinnest, so you're going to have a robust edge that's not going to chip on you. It may not be a slicing beast, but what it lacks for in sliciness, it makes up for in ergonomics, fidget factor, not that that's a tough thing, and just robustness overall. Really, really good knife. I feel bad. This is kind of like going back to the I'm Sorry Saturday. I feel bad that I haven't carried this enough. But no knife in my collection is a safe queen, so it's not like I have anything that I'm keeping safe or good. The stuff that's staying forever will get used. That's why, you know, some expensive, nice knives have not stuck around. I don't have a use for a knife that I just hold on to. That's just me. That's not me judging you. So I'm probably going to chop the video up here because I don't know what Wednesday's supposed to be yet, but I'm going to leave it running, and then when I figure it out, I'll come back and I'll chop it out and tell you what Wednesday is. Okay. I got one that's gonna be fun. It may be like, you guys might be like, what? No, I don't want to. Well, that's the point of this. You're just gonna carry some stuff that you don't necessarily want to carry. All right? That's why we're doing this. If you want to participate, you know what I mean? So, for Wednesday, which is tomorrow, the theme for Wednesday, guys, wait for it. I was going to go with one, but I think I might save that for future plays. The theme for Wednesday is Wifey Wednesday. Now you guys might say, what? Like, what's that mean? That means if your wife has a knife or your girlfriend has a knife or you have a knife that you would intend to give to your future wife because it's probably not the most masculine looking knife, that's the knife we're carrying tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's happening. So I already know what I'm going to carry. As soon as it popped into my mind, Wifey Wednesday, I'm like, oh, I got some stuff that we're going to carry. Oh man, it's going to be hilarious. So tomorrow's kind of like a Raz, right? So get to it. If you guys got like a feminine looking knife, which is kind of an oxymoron, right? No knife is necessarily feminine. But if it's got pink or purples or something in there, or it's this tiny little kind of like, I don't want to say bitch-made knife, but like kind of like a little bitchy knife. And, no, oh God, that is nowhere near in reference to women. That's just kind of like, yeah. Don't take that one out of context. I will have somebody to answer to for that. Wifey Wednesday, guys. Today's tough carry is the Spyderco Shaman. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, boys.